Okay, so let me just hide this. Okay, basically, we are looking at why we wouldn't have taken CAD-JPY or why we would have taken it in the direction knowing what we know now, which is because of the rejection candle. So first things we got to know is that this, even though it's a rejection candle, right? Because it closed below 0.43, first and foremost, it is an engulfing pattern. You can see smaller candle, larger candle, and the three candle pattern. Even though it didn't engulf this candle on here, the pattern of the evening star engulfing pattern or the morning star engulfing pattern is just a large candle, a smaller candle, and a larger candle than the smaller candle in the middle on there. So we do have a weekly rejection. So because we have a weekly rejection on there, the weekly is telling us not to sell this. The weekly is saying that we need to buy this. This is what the weekly is saying first and foremost. So let's watch and see what else Elliot says.
The USD JPY example, if you watch my trade breakdown, your entry was pretty much the same as mine. I entered on the candle slightly before. So yeah, just watch that to go over that. On CADJPY, I would say just this accumulation. I don't like sort of this because in a scenario like this, like technically your accumulation is all of this. Like I want my accumulation to be much more like condensed, if that makes sense. Like I want it to be something like, I guess literally like this break retest engulfing this. I don't want it to be like
I wouldn't consider that because this is just too messy. Like we didn't tap into the zone. We have the four wicks right here, but we never actually tapped into the zone, so it's invalid. And then when it starts messing around like this, it broke structure. And when it retested, it's not in structure anymore. So I don't count that as it. I would need something much cleaner, no interruptions or anything like that. Like this, we break, price comes back to an engulfing. There's no. It looks like there might be maybe if I can measure it, doesn't look like there's four wicks there, but wherever we can find the four wicks.
this. So I wouldn't be using that because if that's your whole that's like using that is this is your whole accumulation. Like
This is perfectly fine because you have one, two, three, four, five, six, break, retest. It's perfectly fine. The only reason why you lost is because you had the weekly direction incorrect. This is supposed to be a counter trend trade because the previous weekly candle closed as a bullish engulfing. This is a bullish sign. This is a bearish rejection sign. So we're now looking to go up. Okay. So now being that we're looking to go up, we need to go down to the daily. The daily has broken structure. The daily is now bullish. So you couldn't have even taken this trade because the daily wouldn't have been in trend, right? So the daily is bullish. The 4 hour is bullish as well too. This whole entire thing is a structure around here. We never violated this right here. Previous structures right here. That's fine. Um, so being that it's a counter trend trade, we just need to have um two confirmations. So we have one on the weekly, right? And then on the daily, at the time, let's see, we didn't have anything at the time. Once we got this candle closed, we're good there. Or the 4 hour, do we have a 4 hour previous structure? We don't have a 4 hour previous structure, so we couldn't have taken anything on here. We just don't have enough confluences that I can see. Weekly, yes. Daily at that time, no. So we couldn't have taken this, right? Daily, we do now because we have that engulfing. And at that time, it would have been like, so yeah, right here. We would have been in here. We would have came off the engulfing. Once we came off the engulfing, we see the accumulation break retest there. It did happen within the 4 hour higher low right here, and no violation of this level. We just had it right here, the accumulation break retest, and we're able to, even though this take profit here was a 2 hour, so that's why we took it right there. Um, then we always just extend it to 3 hour once we get there. It's a good trade, and then so that's why you can't move stop loss to break even because then it kind of comes back and does that. So this would have passed the challenge. This would have been a 3R. If you've moved stop loss to break even at this time, they would have definitely wicked you out and closed your trade.
Do you really want to be taking trade here? That's meant to be above. I want it to be much, as opposed to, yeah, on that, I would say